All right, the Cleveland Browns are in an interesting spot, but they get good news as they are about to take on the Rams. If you're new to the channel, we make videos for teams that are overlooked by the national media. Cleveland Browns being one of those teams. We're Detroit Lions fans, but we follow teams that just get ignored by the national media. Browns being one of those teams, AFC team that's doing well in the AFC when everyone thought it'd be all these other teams. The Browns right there in the mix, and they've got an interesting stretch of games, and they've got Joe Flacco as their quarterback. Now, here's the good news. Joe Flacco, and I did a video on this before. You can go back and take a look at it. We deep dive it a little bit more, but Joe Flacco is actually perfect because you look at his stats. He's got a very, or not very low, but a low completion percentage. But he goes down the field more than any other quarterback in recent years. He's got a lot of 20-plus yard completions, and he's not going to dink and dunk. He wants to get the shots over the top. And I made the argument that that's great news for the Browns because they've got a great defense. And if they can hit a couple shots over the top, just one, maybe two big chunk plays, move the sticks, momentum, anything like that, flip field position, like they just got to hit on a couple of those rather than trying to slug their way down the field with DTR. Now, they get more good news ahead of the matchup. But first, let's take a look at this schedule and what I'm talking about, how it's so wonky. Here's why it's wonky. You've got the Rams. Both the Rams and the Browns are sitting there fighting for a playoff spot. The Rams, ever since they won the Super Bowl, they're super thin. They've given away a lot of resources in order to get to where they were for that Super Bowl run a couple of years ago. And then since then, it's like, are they very good? They're winning 3-4, they're 4-7, 5-6. Like they're in that like under 500, but they're hanging around. So this is like a move week in the NFL. Like you're either going to put yourself in a great position to make the playoffs or you're going to be really hurt. Rams, one of those teams. I like the Browns versus the Rams in this matchup. Then you go Jags, Browns, tough game there. Bears, Texans, Jets, Bengals without their starting quarterback. So you've got a mixture of Jags and Texans, tough. Jets and Bears, gotta have it. And if you're a playoff team, you'll get that. So here's what's great news is as guys have been able to practice with Flacco, get in rhythm, get in some things with Joe Flacco, it was consistent over this week. Guys talking about how well he throws the ball, how smart he is, veteran, great ball, great leadership, all these things. And again, we don't want to look too far into this because what are they going to say? But my point is, I love seeing that these guys respect Joe Flacco. He's not that old. For some reason, I thought he was like 42. He's 37, 38. So he can play this year. Last year, also, more good news. Let's get into it here a little bit. Last year, he played for the Jets. The Jets. I mean, come on. The Jets are so weird and terrible. He started 4 games, threw for over 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So now those aren't mind-blowing stats, but my point is he was just playing last year, like in the league, playing, scoring touchdowns. Like, so it's not that he's been in my head. Maybe this is just me. He's been sitting out for a long time. He's really old. He's not that old. He hasn't been sitting out that long. I mean, and he just was starting last year. So I think this is great. So he's 38 years old, signed with the practice squad. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but man, rattle us off a couple wins. Like if I'm a Browns fan, let's go. So the good news as they continue to get more good news. A, Flacco starting, he fits this team. He's going to be able to go downfield. B, the teammates love him. Love the way it looks, the ball coming out of his hands. Number 3, he's not that old. Number 4, he just was playing in the National Football League, starting. And so let's go. Like there's no reason why. He's played enough football where he can take care of the ball, take a few shots, rely on this defense, and go win these games. And so the Cleveland Browns, I love where they're at. They're in great shape. If you would have told me their record at this point of the season in the hard, tough AFC North, you'd take it all day, every day. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love Joe Flacco. I think he's going to be just perfect for this team. Everything is like right there. Go beat the Rams. Like you got to beat the Rams. If you don't beat the Rams, then it's like, all right, then we really weren't a playoff team anyway. And but the Browns keep surprising us week after week, and I can't wait to see what they do here. So again, if you're new to the channel, we make videos for teams that don't get the love nationally, and we'll see all of you on the next one.